of us here at RimObject Software are excited to be announcing the immediate availability of Oxygene for Java, previously known as Project Cooper. You may be familiar with Oxygene for .NET, which is the language and compiler that powers Embarcadero Prism. And just like Oxygene brought its powerful Object Pascal language to .NET, it now brings that same next-generation Object Pascal language to the world of Java. That means if you know Object Pascal, Turbo Pascal, or even Delphi, you are ready to start programming with Oxygene. But don't worry, this is not your daddy's Pascal. Oxygene has come a long way from its roots in 1970 with the advent of Pascal. It gained objects from Smalltalk in 1986. Then in 2005, with influence from C#, Chrome was born, and in 2008, it was renamed Oxygene as it replaced Delphi for .NET as Embarcadero's .NET solution. And in 2011, with influence from Java, we announced Project Cooper, which today is released as Oxygene 5, the one language that allows you to develop for the two largest platforms, .NET and the Java runtime. A familiar language isn't the only reason to use Oxygene for Java. It also brings a number of very cool language features, like class contracts, aspect-oriented programming, futures and asynchronous futures, nullable types and expressions, and not only properties, but inline property accessors. The great thing about bringing Oxygene to the Java platform is now you have access to all the opportunities available on the Java platform. For example, Java stored procedures in databases like Apache Derby and Oracle, web technologies like JavaFX and Tomcat, or get into the cloud with Google App Engine and Google Web Toolkit. And we can't forget the mobile world with BlackBerry and Android. With all of that and more available to you with Oxygene for Java, the only question is what to do first. Let me show you a few examples. Let's start out with a simple Android application here. You can see I've got the SDK installed and have my emulator running Gingerbread. Go ahead and make a new project. Android application. Our template by default has a single activity in here. You'll see that it is referencing the Android SDK. Come down here into our button click listener event and add a breakpoint there, and let's go into the layout here and make a simple change to this. We'll change the orientation to vertical, so it shows up a little better, and let's add a text view here with some text. It says hello Oxygene, and we'll say the text size is 32. And instead of making you watch me type the rest of this, I'll just copy and paste some additional layouts in there. So now we go ahead and run this with the debugging turned on. Bring up the emulator. Emulator is a little slower than actual hardware, but still pretty quick. If you want to get even better speed, you can run it without debugging. We'll go ahead and click this button here. And we see the breakpoint caught right here. We have a call stack. We have variable inspection, so we can click here on self and see the value of count. As I step through this, we see the count changed. Go ahead and remove the breakpoint, hit run, and it clicks just fine. So there's a simple Android demo for you. A little more complex one here for you. That's a Twitter client that's just going to show you all the tweets in a Twitter feed. Come in here and make a change. Make the text color. Let's make this green. And run this. Run it without debugging this time. It's a little bit faster for the demo. So the entire tool chain's been included in this. So it compiles it to the jar file, then converts it to Dalvik, and deploys it to the Android emulator or an actual Android device. Actual Android device would be faster than the emulator here. Go ahead and let's do View RIM objects timeline here. There we go with our green text in there. So, short demo of Android development with Oxygene for Java. And no Java demo would be complete without showing you an applet. Applet, of course, is a little Java application that runs inside your browser. So a little window here in the browser, runs on any platform. Of course, Cooper was the code name for Oxygene for Java. So let's go ahead and update this to show the correct version. You'll see we're just bringing in the applet namespace, extending the applet class. And we'll change this to say Oxygene. And we'll build this again. Open up that test page. Runs on any browser, any platform. Of course, not anymore. You have to authorize it. And there we go. Now it says Oxygene. So, short demo of creating web applets with Oxygene for Java. Tomcat is a server-side technology for generating web pages or web applications similar to ASP.NET. I've installed Tomcat here, and I've created a servlet for it. This servlet, you can see it references the servlet API, which comes with Tomcat, references those namespaces here, and we extend the HTTP servlet class to create this. In the do-get, we override that and provide our own content here for Java. Tomcat servlet takes a parameter, has a click event. We'll go ahead and build this. And we come out to here. We go into the Manager app, and we can see I've set up a Oxygene application. Simple process. There's documentation on that. We just tell it to reload. It loads the new jar file in, and we can click through here. Here's our application, our servlet we just created, and we click. There we go. Pretty simple. There's how you make a servlet. One of the great things about Oxygene is you can now use the same language with all of those powerful features to target both .NET and Java. That means you can leverage some of the same code between these two platforms. And to make working between .NET and Java even easier, here at RIM Objects, we are using Oxygene for Java to create new editions of the RIM Objects SDK and Data Abstract for Java. These will be wire compatible with all other editions. All of this makes Oxygene the only language you need. If you want to learn more about Oxygene for Java, check out the videos on our Oxygene channel of RIM Objects TV and check out the language reference in the Oxygene language wiki. When you are ready to get started with Oxygene for Java, you can download the trial or buy it now.